What is going on, guys? Joe Whedon here, back for another video. And today I'm going to be going over my fitness journey on how I went from skinny to absolutely shredded. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So if you guys haven't kept up with me or my story, I'll just give you a general rundown of my life before I really got into fitness, which was, like back in high school, I was really skinny. I will definitely have pictures throughout this video. And I was one who was very afraid to gain weight and just to actually, like, I wanted to be skinny. I was like afraid of being fat. Like I did not want to be like overweight. And I just remember my diet was terrible. I wasn't really into sports in high school due to reasons that I'm not going to get into. But yeah, I was skinny. I wasn't really that physically active. I would occasionally do home workouts, and like I had a bench, and I have some weights which I still have here somewhere, like some 30-pound dumbbells. And then I would go like play ultimate frisbee and occasionally go swimming at like the lake or the pool. So it's not that I didn't do anything, I just wasn't like lifting or in football, basketball, baseball, whatever. And that all changed around, I would say 11th grade is when it really started, when I got into like self-improvement videos. As I was not confident in myself. I felt really skinny. I wanted to change that. I felt like my looks weren't there. Like a lot of very superficial stuff. But I was like, I want to make a change in my life. So I decided, I want to actually get in better shape. So I started doing home workouts a lot more consistently that summer. And sadly, a lot of this is to get attention from girls. I know that's sad to say, but so we all got to start somewhere. So anyway, at the start of my senior year, just to preface this, as I had just turned 18 and my driver's license, it said I'm at 145 pounds. So that's what I was at around the start of my senior year. And then my cousin and I, Kurt, which if you are a fan of the channel, you will know who he is. He's for any OGs, they know who he is. So Kurt and I would go to the high school weight room in the mornings around like 7 o'clock, and we would, lift with a basic outline we'd follow, which was chest on Monday, legs on Tuesday. Chest Monday, legs Tuesday, back Wednesday, and then we'd have like some other things. Like I think Thursday we'd go back and do chest, and then Friday we'd do legs again. I think that's how it went, if I'm not mistaken. It was something along those lines. And it was a decent routine. Like I definitely noticed my strength increase, and I was looking better, getting newbie gains and stuff, actually pushing myself. And like I remember I didn't really have that great of PRs. I remember I could squat 225, maybe a little more. I remember I could squat 2 plates for sure, not for a lot. I remember I don't think I ever hit 185. I was really struggling with that. Bench was something I struggled with a lot. Deadlifts, I could do like 275 pretty consistently. And yeah, like I was actually in the weight room getting started, and I'd follow this routine. Him and I do a lot of pull-ups and stuff, and it was good. So then around, never actually talked about this on my channel, I had a breakup towards the end of 2023, and it gave me a little bit of motivation to actually push myself in the weight room a little more. I remember the day after it happened, I went and I deadlifted like 315, which I had never done before. I remember I didn't do it that well. I just remember I did it. I deadlifted 315, and I was able to hit a little more PRs, but it was really minimal progress. It didn't really help me. More affected my mental health and stuff, which wasn't great, but that's the past. Anyway, I got over that later. And then one thing, if you are an OG, you'll know the Hawaii vlogs. I went to Hawaii, which was an awesome time, but definitely going there really hurted my lifting progress, as it got me out of the weight room for like a week. And when I got back, I just wasn't as consistent as I was before, which wasn't great, honestly. Like just not being there for a week kind of just made it so I wasn't like consistent or as I wanted to be. I took like days. I remember I was a lot more lax with my lifting progress. Around like the end of my senior year, I think I was weighing around like 155 pounds. So I guess I gained 10 pounds, and I didn't really I wasn't fat. I mostly gained that from muscle, like I said, newbie gains. But as I graduated high school, I was a lot more inconsistent after, Hawaii. And I didn't really have access to the high school weight room anymore. Besides through my friend, we'd occasionally go. I didn't want to pay for the gym in town, Anytime Fitness. It was expensive. And I wasn't really able to go to the high school gym as much as I'd like to. So I wasn't consistent. and I definitely didn't notice a lot of gains. Like I still try to do home workouts and stuff, but yeah, very inconsistent through there, which is kind of a common theme. Anyway, after that, I went off to my first year of college at the U of M Morris, and that's where I started to work out every single day, and that is also when I started to post on YouTube a lot more. All those videos are still up, sadly. I'll never take them down. Anyway, I had a similar split that my friend made for me, which was chest Monday, legs Tuesday, back. It was a similar split. I think it was a little different in the actual workouts and stuff. This definitely helped me be a lot more consistent actually having a gym, and it was something I did. Like me and a couple of my dorm mates would go work out and stuff, and it was a good time. That was one thing I do miss about Morris. There's not much else, but I do miss that. I also ate a lot more throughout school. I know, freshman 15, I didn't gain that much weight. Definitely ate a lot more. I didn't keep track of my calories, but I tried to eat a lot, which for me, eating's hard. Eating as a skinny guy, if you can relate, eating is really hard. It's hard to actually try to eat a lot, as I'm someone who didn't really eat a lot, and it wasn't entirely because I don't want to be fat. Partially that, but it's also I just didn't really have an appetite, and that's something I still struggle with now, but we'll get into that. Anyway, I lifted a lot throughout school, and I would work out a lot, but I'd rarely push myself to actually try to reach new heights. I remember I probably didn't squat past 225. I do more ass to grass squats, which is something I do now, but I probably wouldn't go past 185 if I went straight to the ground. My bench still wasn't great. I think I benched maybe once a week, if not maybe every 2 weeks. It's just I wasn't really consistent. I was in the weight room every day basically, but just not doing enough per se. So I think around the time I left Morris, I weighed around 160 pounds. So I gained weight, but definitely not a lot. I didn't really see much progress, even though I was in the gym consistently. I'm not saying there wasn't any, but there definitely wasn't a lot. Anyway, I went back home for the summer, and I was lifting, somewhat consistently, more than probably the previous summer at the high school gym with my friend. And I would say I relatively stayed the same weight and strength. But then we get to the start of the new age of Joe Weiden, where I decided to move down to Tennessee. And that is, right before I went down, I hit 185 on bench, which I'll probably have the clip if I can find it. On camera, we got 185 on here. So let's get it. Nice. Woo! But I remember that was a big deal for me. It's I finally hit this milestone, and I actually achieved hitting 185. I really hope I find that clip, because that was crazy to me. But yeah, that was around September of 2024, maybe August. It was probably September, because I remember that was right before I left. Anyway, details aside, I left for Tennessee, drove all the way down here, and I eventually found this gym, because I remember I made a post in the Facebook group, and the gym that got recommended the most to me was Carbon Performance. And I went there once, tried it out, and I loved it. So I joined immediately. And then after that, one of my friends from Morris, who was a bodybuilder, sent me this split, which is the Batman split, which I've been using recently, and I made a video on. Should be here. Or is it here? I think it's one of the two. Anyway, I've been doing that split where I lift 5 days a week, have 2 active rest days, which is Monday chest, legs Tuesday, back Wednesday, legs Thursday, Friday is back with arms. A solid split, and I've definitely noticed a lot of progress for it. And I would lift a lot, try to eat more and stuff, till I'd say eventually around January is when I hit my max weight, which was around 180 pounds. I remember, I don't know if that's exact, I just know I was really close to it. So I'm just gonna say 180 for the sake of the video, just to make it simple. After that, around March and February is when I decided I need to actually start tracking my calories, and it was something I wanted to do. So I got Macro Factor, which I'm not sponsored by them. I would love it if you guys sponsored me. Jeff Nipper, if you're watching, hey, reach out. Anyway, no, Macro Factor's been great. Started tracking my calories, and because I wanted to go on a mini cut, a little bit of a summer shred. And so I started my cut. And also around this time, or a little before, is when I actually started to hit a lot more of my PRs, which my biggest one, at least to me, was finally hitting 225 on bench, which hopefully I have in one of those videos, which to me, that's still crazy that I actually hit 225, as that's one of my benchmarks, or one of the goals I really wanted to achieve. Hitting 2 plates officially makes you a man at the gym. But no, I finally hit 225. I'm playing with this. Hit 225 on bench, which was really impressive. Also around the same time, I hit 365 on deadlift. I don't really deadlift that often. I want to get a ratchet belt. That's another goal of mine. They're expensive though. They're like $300. But no, I want to get a belt so I can deadlift more. But hitting 365 on deadlift was pretty good. It was a decent deadlift, and I'm pretty proud of it. And then my highest squat, which I think was in April, was 325 ass to grass, which is still, to me, pretty impressive. I think squats and legs have been the thing I've seen a lot, if not the most progress in, besides maybe my back. And then throughout March to, I'd say, May, I did this mini cut. I cut down to 3,200 calories, 200 grams of protein, about 200 grams of carbs, and then like 170 fat, which, to be honest, I wasn't really great with actually keeping the diet, but I did cut down to about 170 pounds, which to me was pretty impressive. Where I'm currently at in the gym, I'm still around 170. I'm trying to clean up my diet a little more, as that's something I think is my biggest thing I'm lacking on. Because I am consistent in the weight room, but I think I could be eating a lot healthier. I think I can be actually striving to hit my protein goals more. Maybe not spend as much money on eating out all the time, and just actually getting more calories in. As I've noticed, when I eat more, I tend to actually have more strength. Isn't that funny how that works? I also want to push myself harder in the gym, as I think that's something I need to do. Either work out with friends or maybe set more goals for myself in order to hit, instead of like, oh, this is way ahead. Basically, I'm currently trying to push myself more. I will have pictures of where I was before I started lifting to where I am now, which I think I recorded this today, the day I'm recording this video. And I think I look pretty decent as of right now. I have abs, I think I have decent definition, and a lot of people have complimented my physique, especially my legs. Mostly dudes have complimented my physique. You know, it's funny, like this is a high tangent. When I started getting in the weight room or like starting to lift, I was like, you know, I wanted to initially do it so like girls would think I'm more attractive, but then it's like dudes think I'm more attractive. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Anyway, I'll just go over some of my plans for the rest of this year, and then I will also go over some things that I have learned throughout all this that I want to tell you guys, so you can just know. I want to start bulking again, probably here soon. I don't have a clear date, but definitely after this summer is technically over, the bulk will start. The winter arc, the winter bulk. I want to start clean bulking, like just a calorie surplus, eating more and making sure the foods I'm eating are clean. Like more whole foods, less processed crap, less fast food for sure, and try to gain more muscle mass for both strength and aesthetics. I know it's hard to go for both at the same time, but I definitely want to hit more goals, like try to hit 275 on bench. I think if I could get a 4-plate deadlift would be awesome, or at least a 365 squat would be really, really cool. I am focused more on aesthetics, but I have strength goals I also want to hit, as I know I can if I want to. It's just I have to actually want. And I'm going to go over some lessons I've learned throughout lifting over these past almost 3 years, which is, this is kind of something like in general that I'd recommend to anyone, is just don't be afraid of what others think. Because I was really skinny, and a lot of people were like, oh, Joe's in the weight room now. Like, oh, like, whatever. But don't let, like, what other people say stop you. Like, if you are, like, actually overweight, or you're a skinny do I have to censor that? If you're, like, if you don't have the body you want now, just start. Like, you're not going to get to where you want to be if you don't actually start. So I just recommend, sign up for that Planet Fitness gym. Sign up for that expensive gym. Just go to the gym. Get some friends. Go with you. Don't be by yourself. Like, get some friends to go with you. Friends are also, honestly, like, a great way to push you, as Kurt was to me at the start. And, a lot of my friends down here now, like, push me to do better. I would say also build the habit of going to the gym. Like, it is kind of easy to start, make a big deal out of it, but actually going, and I'd recommend, please build the habit of going, like, because if you don't, you're not going to go, and once you do build the habit, you're going to be like, oh, why am I not going, why am I not doing this, and it will help be your own motivator, as like you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not going, and the pain of not going is going to be worse than the pain of actually going to the gym. One thing I wish I did sooner, which I'm trying to clean up now, is my diet. Honestly, like, your diet is just as important, if not more important, than actually lifting itself. If you're eating good foods, not eating like a bunch of seed oil crap, processed foods, junk food, chocolates, candy. I love chocolate. Like, it's just, if you watch what you eat and you're actually eating clean foods, keeping track of what you eat, trying to hit like calorie goals, protein goals, stuff like that, I bet you would have a lot better physique doing that, even if you didn't touch a single weight. Hot take, but definitely track what you eat and try to eat clean, as that will take you a long way. I didn't write this in my notes, but I definitely think supplements are a good thing. I'd say protein powder is definitely one thing that's good, especially if you're a bodybuilder. It can help you actually hit your protein goals and stuff. Other things like creatine, like, they're good. Do your own research. I want to make a video on supplements, as I think that would be good, and I want to learn more about them myself. I'd say do your research. You don't have to go get some shots. You don't have to go on TRT. You probably shouldn't, but that's just me. Trend's cool. And then the last thing I would say as some general advice is track your progress. Like, don't go crazy. You don't have to be the guy that has the tripod filming every single set. I definitely do that. But no, like, track your progress. Like, take pictures, like, maybe every month, every couple weeks. Because honestly, you're going to appreciate seeing those. And like, looking back to where I was, say, junior, even senior year of high school, even back to Morris, I've seen a lot of progress, especially since I moved down here, especially since I've been more consistent as I've been trying to improve and become the better version of Joe Whedon. And it's crazy to think, like, how much you can change in a short amount of time. As I've noticed that my physique has definitely gotten better. There's definitely ways it can be improved, and definitely ways I can grow a lot more. But I wouldn't have got to where I am now if I didn't actually put in the work back then. If the Joe back in the summer of 23 was really sick and tired, if he wasn't sick and tired of looking the way he did or feeling the way he did, I wouldn't be here now. And you will notice great things happen if you actually put in the work. And with that, my camera is overheating. What the heck? And with that, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little more chill, just me talking. Hopefully there was a lot of B-roll and different clips, so you guys got an idea of what's going on. And yeah, this is a video I've wanted to make for a long time. You know, skinny to being shredded. That's a good title. I know I'm going to have that as a title. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. I'm trying to hit 1K by the end of this year, and your support does mean a lot to me. Comment down below your thoughts. What got you guys into the weight room if you are into fitness? Or what's something that you have learned along the way that you want to share with others? I'd love to hear it, as maybe you guys can teach me something. Maybe I can teach you something. Let's grow together. Let's make some gains, bro. And make sure to follow both my Instagram and TikTok, linked in the description. As always, I'm posting more short form content, trying to be consistent, at least post one thing daily, and your guys' support on there really means a lot. And what else do I need? Follow the second channel, Joseph Whedon. It's linked in the description, or it should be. I'm gonna try to post on there relatively soon, you know, the move-in vlog. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next video. Watch what is right here. It is my newest video on asking gym questions part 2 at Carbon Nations in Nashville. This was a fun video. I really enjoyed making this, and I hope you guys go check it out. So go watch that, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios. Peace out. If I don't see you in the next one, I'm gonna be mad. And bye.